To make his childhood obsession smile, my boyfriend uploaded my most intimate photos to a porn site. That night, I was doxxed. A tidal wave of hateful messages and harassing calls flooded my phone. Panicked and lost, I went to find Julian, only to hear laughter spilling from his villa. His friends. Damn, I never knew Calla was hiding cannons like that. Holy shit, no wonder she's a former art student. The poses she strikes in bed, insane. Julian, you're a real bro for sharing the wealth. But man, you put all of Calla's stuff out there. Aren't you worried she'll find out and dump you? My boyfriend, Julian Valerius, let out a soft chuckle. He tossed one of my photos onto the liquor-stained coffee table. Now that everyone has seen what a slut she is in bed, he said, his voice dripping with contempt. Who else would be brave enough to take on damaged goods like her? The room erupted in a chorus of jeering laughter, each note a physical blow. So, are you gonna marry her, then? If not, once you're bored, mind passing her around? Haha. Seriously though, what did she do to piss you off this much? Julian, who had been lounging carelessly, sat up straight. His tone turned venomous. Bianca just accidentally spilled some coffee on her at her own birthday party. A fucking accident. And Calla made such a scene. Bianca's always been delicate. It's normal for her to lose her grip sometimes. But Calla had the audacity to demand an apology, to humiliate her. If I didn't teach her a lesson, she'd really start thinking she's someone important. An image of me, completely naked, was thrown onto the table. My heart plummeted with it. Hey Julian, how'd you even think of posting this stuff on those sites? And for free, dude. I found a ton of clips on a few random forums. This is like a goddamn gift from heaven. You gotta pay a premium for some influencers' bikini pics on Twitter these days. Julian sneered, his face a mask of disdain. I want the whole world to know that she, Calla Rain, is worth less than a back alley whore. She dared to embarrass Bianca, so I'll give her a taste of real social suicide. He seemed to remember something, pulling out his phone and unlocking it. A moment later, a series of broken, breathless moans filled the air. My moans. I've got even wilder videos here. Wanna see? My world dissolved into a gray, tear-blurred haze. I knew exactly where those sounds were recorded. The cheers from inside the villa grew louder, a sickening wave of noise that threatened to suffocate me. I'd chased Julian for a long time. In everyone's eyes, he was the perfect boyfriend, always putting me first. For 3 years, he'd been insatiable in bed. He had his quirks, too. Buying me all sorts of uniforms and lingerie. He'd get exceptionally excited whenever I wore them. I always thought it was just to heighten his pleasure. I never imagined the real purpose was to film it. The laughter from the villa grew more piercing, and a wave of disgust washed over me. A week ago, for my 24th birthday, Julian threw me a massive party. He invited all our friends and even made a point of bringing his childhood friend. Before that night, I'd only heard about Bianca Sinclair from him and his circle. Bianca? She and Julian go way back. She's the one that got away, the one he keeps on a pedestal. And it was true. Though Bianca was my age, she carried herself with a cloying, wide-eyed innocence that made you want to protect her. But from our first meeting, she radiated a strange hostility towards me. When she poured me coffee, I clearly saw her intentionally tilt the scalding liquid onto my arm. The searing pain was immediate. Within seconds, my skin was red and blistering. She feigned panic, staring at me without a single word of apology. It was a waiter who, unable to watch any longer, rushed over with a first aid kit. Only then did Bianca sullenly walk away. Even so, a fire of indignation burned in my chest. I insisted she admit her mistake. Bianca was defiant, but under Julian's firm gaze, she finally mumbled a low, sorry. Then, she ran off, her eyes red. Julian didn't follow. He even comforted me, telling me it was okay. But then he turned around and shared my private photos and videos with his friends, uploading them to porn sites, all to avenge his precious Bianca. And just before this, he was holding my hand, whispering, once Bianca gets used to you, we'll go get married. If he truly wanted to spend his life with me, why would he do this? So, was it all a lie? Were the thousands of I love yous over 3 years just part of the act? I suddenly remembered something one of Julian's friends said, drunk at a party once, if Bianca hadn't kept turning Julian down, you think you'd be our sis right now? My heart felt like it was being crushed in a vice, the pain stealing my breath. I stumbled out of the hotel, every passing glance a cocktail of mockery and contempt. Overwhelmed by a monstrous sense of shame and fear, I trembled as I dialed my brother, who was working overseas. His project was highly confidential, cutting him off from the world for nearly 3 years. And today was the day it finally ended. The phone connected, and my brother's concerned voice was the key that unlocked. I staggered back to the villa. The rooms were cold and empty. Julian wasn't home. The smart blinds sensed the harsh sunlight outside and slid shut automatically. The room darkened, and I collapsed onto the sofa, drained. I wanted to cry, but the tears wouldn't come. My phone rang, a jarring intrusion. It was Julian. Where are you? I opened my mouth, my throat raw and dry. Home. It's Bianca's birthday today. She's insisting I bring you along. Get ready, I'm coming to pick you up. The line went dead before I could respond. He arrived quickly. Seeing me still in my old clothes, he sighed softly. I saw those pictures online. Don't overthink it. I'm not ashamed of you, okay? He pulled a tight, strappy dress from the closet. Come on, be good. Change into this. Everyone's waiting. He reached to take off my jacket, but I grabbed his hand, stopping him. What exactly am I that you wouldn't be ashamed of? I remembered their conversation at the hotel. So, Julian, how are you gonna play this for Kala? Julian didn't answer, but Bianca's voice chirped from his phone. Obviously, you have to make everyone, including her, think she's the one with loose morals. As for you, my dear brother, you get to be the hero who saves her in her darkest hour. That way, you keep your girlfriend and I get my revenge. Deal? A brief silence, then Julian's indulgent reply, deal. Soon after, my private photos were branded with the tag slut. A bitter laugh escaped my lips. What exactly do you trust? I asked. I threw the dress onto the floor, exhausted. I don't want to go to her birthday party. You go by yourself. Julian's brow furrowed, a sure sign of his displeasure. As expected. Kala, don't be difficult. Bianca knows about the online stuff. She invited you today to help you relax, and to apologize to you in person. His fingers traced the burn on my arm. This is a gesture of goodwill from Bianca. Don't be ungrateful. In the end, he dragged me out the door. Before getting out of the car, I reached for a face mask in my bag, but Julian stopped me. He looked at me with a gaze full of feigned devotion, as if he were my knight in shining armor. You don't need that. Ha ha ha, these are the types that are best at faking it. I fought back the nausea as Julian led me into a private room. The second we were inside, he let go of my hand. I stared at the floor, desperately searching for a patch of safety, but the stairs in the room were even more naked, more lewd, more sickening than outside. I don't feel well. I want to go home. I turned to leave, but a large hand clamped down on my wrist. Rough calluses scraped against my skin, making me shudder. It was one of Julian's closest friends, the one who had been the loudest in their group chat. He squinted at me, his eyes predatory. Leaving so soon, sis? We're all here. It'd be a shame not to stay and play with us. The insinuation in his words made my stomach churn. I could barely breathe. Bianca bounced over, her smile angelic and cruel. Bianca pouted, pushing the glass closer to me, then let Kala drink it for me. Instantly, all attention was on me. I wanted to refuse, but Julian answered for me. Just drink it. Think of it as helping out your little sister. I froze. The absurdity of his logic was a knife to the heart. I finally saw Julian for who he truly was in this relationship. All this time, he had pretended to put me first, but in reality, he never cared. Because he didn't care, he was indifferent. That's why he always said yes to everything I wanted. Swallowing the bitterness, I took the glass. If I drink this, can I leave? I'm tired. I want to rest. Julian hesitated for a moment, then nodded after a pointed cough from Bianca. The liquor burned my throat, a punishing fire. I set the glass down and turned to leave. This time, no one stopped me. My hand had just closed around the doorknob when the world started to spin violently. My reaction seemed to ignite the party. They cheered, swarming around me. A strange. Don't worry, Julian, one of his friends slurred, the effects were off. She won't remember a thing. I woke up in a high-end private clinic, my body aching as if it had been run over by a truck. Julian walked in, his mask of gentleness perfectly in place. How are you feeling? You had a little too much to drink last night and passed out. You really scared me. Behind him, Bianca pouted and theatrically touched my forehead. See, big brother? Kala's fine. I stared blankly at the ceiling, fragmented memories flashing through my mind. The expensive dress I had worn was gone, replaced by a standard hospital gown. It had been torn to shreds during the forced dance last night. Julian said a few more things, but his words were just white noise. After a long while, he left with Bianca. Get some rest. I'll be back later. If you need anything, just tell Bianca. I lay stiffly in bed for what felt like an eternity, the humiliation of the previous night replaying on a loop in my head, inescapable. After a long time, I struggled to sit up. I found my bag on the sofa, and inside, my phone and the ruined dress. Videos of last night had already spread across social media. The footage of my forced dance was horrifyingly clear. The dim, suggestive lighting, the tattered clothes, the roaring laughter of the crowd. Though the platforms quickly took down the original posts, countless people had already saved and reshared them. The original poster even added a note, DM for the full version. At the same time, my personal information was leaked. My phone was bombarded with harassing messages and calls, a relentless, soul-crushing assault. Wanna meet? Price is negotiable. Where can I find you? I numbly scrolled through the venomous comments, then shoved the phone and the dress deep into the trash can in the bathroom. Before being discharged, I borrowed a hat from a nurse. I didn't dare call a cab. I walked for nearly an hour before I made it back to the villa. I found my burner phone and called my brother. His voice on the other end was frantic with worry. My heart felt like a shriveled, painful knot, but my tears had long since run dry. Bro, I want to come to the US to find you. Is my visa ready? I couldn't wait another second. My brother was silent. I knew he must have seen the filth about me online. I was a prisoner, nailed to a digital pillory, exposed for all to see, to mock, to insult. Kala, come to the States. I'll handle everything. Before boarding, I didn't know that back at the hospital, chaos was erupting. Julian sat grim-faced in front of the empty hospital bed. Everyone involved in last night's events, including Bianca, stood there, trembling. A moment later, the friend who had administered the drug burst into the room, panicked. "Julian, we have a huge problem. That drug, it doesn't cause memory loss at all. We really screwed up." 2 years later. After landing, I tossed the burner phone into an airport trash can. My brother was waiting for me at the arrival gate. The moment he wrapped me in a tight hug, I felt like I was being reborn. "Bro." My eyes reddened, and a sob caught in my throat. The ordeal back home was too painful to put into words. He patted my back, comforting me just like he did when we were kids. "It's okay now. It's all over." My brother told me that the moment my plane took off, every related video and photo had been systematically wiped from the internet. Even files saved on private devices were corrupted, rendered unrecoverable. The sheer scale of the takedown had become a hot topic online. Simultaneously, voices rose in my defense, pointing out that I was the victim in this whole affair. As for Julian, I didn't know it then, but he was tearing the country apart looking for me. "Kala," my brother said, his voice firm, "I won't let them get away with this." I was silent for a long time. Illegal distribution of private images, use of prohibited substances, let the law decide their fate. That, in my dreams, I met a young attending physician. He had a gentle smile and a clear, calming voice. "The patient is stable now, Professor Rain. I'm heading out for my rounds." My brother saw him to the door, thanking him profusely. I watched his retreating back, a strange sense of familiarity washing over me. I felt like I knew him from somewhere, but I couldn't place it. From then on, I poured all my energy into my studies, once again becoming the top student everyone admired. My brother often asked me if I had remembered anything, or forgotten anything. I would just smile and shake my head. My other memories were crystal clear. It was only the memories of that relationship that were shrouded in fog. I only remembered that I had dated a man named Julian Valerius, and that he was a terrible person. Dr. Payne, however, was always patient in his explanations to my brother. He was my brother's junior and was now an intern at the same hospital as me. The attending physician I saw when I first woke up was him. He had a master's in psychology. We hadn't known each other before. He had gone abroad for his studies early on. Since I started my internship, my brother had constantly asked him to look out for me. Slowly, we became familiar with each other. "Daydreaming again? I thought you were hungry." A crisp, clear voice pulled me back to reality. Dr. Lorian Payne was looking down at me. I pushed aside the strange feeling in my heart and leaned in to look at the menu. The academic pressure must be getting to me. I'd been zoning out a lot lately. Whenever I stared into space for too long, Lorian would start a conversation to bring me back. The day I ran into Julian, my heart was a placid lake. Lorian and I were walking down the street, discussing a psychological treatment plan for a patient. I had recently developed an interest in the field, and Lorian was patiently answering my questions. "Kala," a man's voice, desperate and urgent. I turned, but my mind drew a complete blank. He looked like he had been searching for me for a long time. Despite his disheveled appearance, his eyes were filled with the joy of reunion. "I finally found you. There's so much I want to say to you. Everything that happened before was my fault. Can we please talk?" He reached for me, but a scowling girl appeared right behind him. I instinctively stepped back, avoiding his hand. "I'm sorry, but we're not close. There's nothing to talk about." It was then that he noticed my strange reaction. "You, what's wrong with you?" "It's me, Julian." Seeing my silence, he softened his tone. "Kala, are you still mad at me? I know what I did was wrong, but I did stop them in the end. Please, just let me explain." The girl behind him, Bianca, finally lost her temper. "Kala, stop with the high and mighty act. You're such a sore loser. Weren't you so tough before? Always making people apologize to you? You must be so proud now, watching my brother grovel like this. Enough is enough, your act is getting old." I frowned at her, not bothering to engage. Julian's face hardened. He yelled at her. "Shut up. If you're not here to apologize, then get lost." Bianca bit her lip, not daring to say another word. Julian turned his attention back to me. "Kala, please, just talk to me." I stared at him for a long moment, then shook my head. "There's nothing left to say between us. Besides," I added, my voice devoid of emotion, "I'm afraid you might lead me somewhere and drug my drink again." I deliberately emphasized the last few words. Even Lorian, standing beside me, froze. On the way back, Lorian hesitated several times, wanting to say something. I looked at him, puzzled. "Just say what's on your mind." Lorian relented. "I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to worry you all. Let's just keep this our little secret." Lorian smiled and nodded in agreement. I dismissed my encounter with Julian as a minor interruption, but I never expected him to be so persistent. This wasn't the Julian I remembered. When Lorian and I went to the hospital, he would be waiting at the entrance. When we were at a cafe, he would be sitting in the convenience store across the street. When we were shopping at the mall, he would be lingering by the entrance. Many times, I wondered if this was really Julian. The man I knew would never have stalked me like this. During another encounter, he finally couldn't take it anymore. "Kala, are you doing this to me because of him?" Julian looked at me, exasperated. "What did I do? If you hadn't humiliated Bianca, I wouldn't have taken you to that party. I even specifically told them not to go too far, and I stopped it in the end. And for that, I cut him off, my voice sharp as ice. I'm supposed to be grateful? Thank you for your mercy?" The memory of that party was a brand on my soul, a scar that would never heal. Forced to strip, photographed and filmed by countless flashing lights, my body groped by a sea of hands. Even if he stopped it in the end, what could that possibly change? If the harm is undone just because you stopped it, then maybe I should have you stripped naked and forced to dance in public too. Julian was rendered speechless. He stammered, unable to form a coherent sentence. That's not what I meant. I just want to talk to you. 3 years, Kala. Are we just going to end 3 years of our lives like this? I let out a cold laugh. Or what? Should I continue to endure the humiliation from you, your pack of hyenas, and your precious childhood obsession? Julian knew perfectly well who had shared those photos and videos in the first place. He looked down, his voice weakening. I honestly didn't know about that. I only found out later, and that's why I brought her to apologize. Not needed. I turned to leave, but he stubbornly blocked my path again. Lorian stepped forward, annoyed, but I stopped him. It was time to make things clear, once and for all. Julian looked at me with pleading eyes, hoping for a sliver of mercy. I gave him none. When had he ever shown me any? He finally gave in. In his version of the story, he was also a victim. Bianca and I grew up together. Our families are close. It's my duty to take care of her. So, he spoiled her, giving her whatever she wanted. But that affection wasn't just the simple bond of childhood friends. The reason things were never made explicit was that Bianca enjoyed being worshipped by Julian but didn't want the responsibility that came with it. Bianca moved in next door when she was 8. Their initial friendship was pure. But I swear, after I got together with you, I truly only saw her as a sister. And that day at the bar, your actions were just too hurtful. You were supposed to be her future sister-in-law, and on your first meeting, you made her apologize, made her cry in public. Weren't you humiliating her? Bianca is stubborn and sensitive. When she's hurt, she gets fixated. Besides, that drink was professionally tested. It was only supposed to cause temporary memory loss. That's why I got it. As for the photos and videos that you leaked, Bianca was wrong, but didn't your brother have them all deleted? She almost went to jail, and it cost a fortune to get her out. By now, you should have cooled down. Kala, please, stop this, okay? He reached out his hand, expecting me to take it in that dependent way. Disgusting. After you left that day, I was so panicked, so helpless. He hung his head, as if unwilling to recall the painful memories. It turned out that when Julian discovered I hadn't lost my memory, he had a complete meltdown. He threw a violent tantrum at the hospital. The usually gentle man had gone berserk. It was a terrifying scene. Unable to find me, he frantically kept calling my phone. When he couldn't reach me, he paid to track my location. Following the last ping, he rushed back to the hospital and found the phone I had discarded in the trash. When he unlocked the screen, he was met with all the nauseating messages. I regret it so much. I'm so sorry, so sorry, he choked out, his hands trembling. Almost at the same moment he saw the chat logs, all the photos and videos were wiped. Law enforcement then broke down his door. He and Bianca were taken away, along with their entire pack of friends. After understanding the full story, he used his connections to get himself out. He couldn't go to prison. He had to find me, to explain. After 3 years with him, it would be a lie to say there were no feelings. He had initially just wanted to teach me a lesson. Once Bianca's anger subsided, he would have stopped everything. I honestly never thought those photos would end up on porn sites. By the time he found out, the damage was done. He didn't know how to face me. He had explicitly told everyone not to share them. This brush with the law was supposed to teach Bianca a lesson, since she had gone too far. But the moment she acted cute and pitiful, I'm a bastard. I'm sorry, Kala, I'm truly sorry. Please, give me one more chance, okay? I'll make her apologize to you personally. I'll send her abroad, I'll make sure she never appears in front of you again, how about that? He looked at me, his eyes sincere, but was the truth really that simple? Julian, we're at this point. Can you finally tell the truth? I calmly recounted the fact that he was the one who had filmed me and uploaded the content. My voice was steady, without a ripple of emotion. Anything else you want to explain? If not, please leave. I don't want to see your pathetic face ever again. Julian's whole body trembled. He looked at me in utter disbelief. I'm sorry, Kala, I stood up silently and walked away from the hypocrite without looking back. For the next 2 years, I focused on my studies and work, and never saw Julian again. After graduation, I returned to my hometown with my brother and Lorian. While on a walk, I found myself in front of the villa where Julian and I once lived. When we first moved in, I was filled with a mix of sweetness and trepidation. I had painstakingly decorated every corner of this villa, running around to countless stores and browsing online shops for days. Now, it was empty and desolate. Even the sunlight streaming in seemed cold. As I stood there, lost in thought, an old lady walking her dog struck up a conversation. Thinking of buying this place, dear? I'd advise against it. There was a murder here not too long ago. Bad luck. My heart tightened. After some careful questioning, I learned the whole story. Julian's mental state had deteriorated after he got out of prison. He cut ties with his old friends and even hired people to teach them a lesson. As for Bianca, he personally reported her for drugging me, filming the videos, uploading them, and supplying the drugs. Bianca was sentenced to 3 years. Julian also pleaded guilty and served his time. Just a few days ago, they both got out and ran into each other right here. The childhood sweethearts had become bitter enemies. Bianca had called on their recently released friends to corner Julian. In the ensuing argument, someone threw the first punch. Julian was left a quadriplegic, still lying in the ICU. Bianca and the others were on the run, with the police in hot pursuit. The sky darkened, and the old lady pulled her coat tighter. That whole bunch is bad news. They went in for assault and illegal filming, and just a few days out, they're at it again. They say criminals always return to the scene of the crime. It's getting dark, young lady, you should head home. Don't want to run into any trouble. After thanking the old lady, I walked out of the residential complex. Lorian was waiting in the car and handed me a warm bottle of water. Where to? Home. A few months later, I was back at the university for a class. A few classmates were heatedly discussing a recent news story. Did you guys hear? That stabbing case from a few months back. They caught all the suspects. The woman was even pregnant. She was in a really unstable state when they found her. I've got the video. A few of them huddled together to watch. How long will they get for that? The woman will probably be sent to a psychiatric hospital. The others will get heavy sentences for sure. Serves them right. I heard the guy who got stabbed is now a quadriplegic, completely incontinent. His family doesn't even want him, just dumped him in a nursing home. I know that place, the staff are terrible, they abuse the patients all the time. That's just tragic. He's lost all his basic dignity.